It's Friday, April 7th, 2017. I'm your host, Sarah Mantle. We have a great show in store for you today. First up, we're going to learn about an amazing group that's knitting for a cause. Then we're going to learn about the Cape Cod Rabies Task Force and the work they do to prevent rabies. And finally, we'll check in with Recreation Director Patty Machado, who will tell us about the upcoming Youth Job Fair and some Easter activities for families. All of that on this episode of Barnstable Today. But first, let's go ahead and get a look at today's top headlines. Town Council nearly got through the entire capital improvement plan during its meeting last night. All but one item was approved. The only item postponed was the Osterville Recreation Building Design and Construction Project. That item will be taken up at the next Town Council meeting, April 27th. Have you always wanted to be a firefighter? Well, the West Barnstable Fire Department is now accepting applications for volunteer firefighters. Anyone can apply. You do not have to live in West Barnstable. If you're interested, you can stop by the West Barnstable Fire Department to pick up an application. You can also learn more about the opportunity by visiting the department's website or Facebook page. The Barnstable Transfer Station will be accepting household hazardous waste this weekend. Residents can drop off marine materials, fertilizers and pesticides, household cleaners and disinfectants, arts and crafts chemicals, and most paints, polishes, and stains, just no latex paints. The hazardous waste collection will take place from 9 a.m. to noon, Saturday, April 8th at the Barnstable Transfer Station. Up next, we have our Arts and Culture segment, where we're going to learn more about that amazing group who's knitting for a cause. So Judy, you have a bunch of knitters here behind us that you have organized to do some really great projects for the community. Tell me why you really wanted to start this knitting group to give back to the community.
A year ago, my mom died of dementia Alzheimer's. She was at the pavilion, and I was retiring, and I anticipated that my retirement would be taking care of her. Much to my surprise, I found myself without a retirement plan, so I thought, well, what could I do to honor my mom, because this would be mom time. So I grew up knitting with my mother, and so I started a knitting group in honor of her.
And your first project was actually very connected to your mother, because you decided to give back to those at the pavilion. Tell me about what you guys, your first project, what you knitted for members of the pavilion.
We knitted shawls and lap blankets. Lap blankets because there are so many patients there in wheelchairs. And so it was at Christmas time, and all of the ladies made shawls or lap blankets, and we wrapped them individually in bags with tissue paper and bows and brought them over to the pavilion. And it was a great success, because many of the residents that are there don't have visitors and don't have a Christmas gift. And they were able to first give those to those in need, and then give any left over to those who would most benefit from it.
Isn't that wonderful? Did you hear a lot of feedback from residents who received the blankets?
Oh, yeah, and it was from the people who were there to watch them get it. It was very touching. And they all remembered my mom, those who could, but the staff also remembered my mom. So it was really nice.
So meaningful,
yeah.
So meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
And then you continued. You didn't stop there. You wanted to keep going. You pick a new project every month. Tell me a little bit about the teddy bears that you guys have been making sweaters for and putting together.
Well, one of our members, Derek, had brought in a teddy bear, and he recommended that we do some teddy bears for the police department, because other communities do that. So I went over to Barnstable Police, and they said yes, they could use them. And so our group, as an ongoing project, makes sweaters for the teddy bears. Well, when the library saw our teddy bears, they said, oh, we could sell those here. Would you donate some to us so that we could sell? Because a great portion of our funds to run the children's library, we have to raise ourselves. So they now have a teddy bear sale ongoing from the bears, of which we make the sweaters.
What a great giving back, because the library, this does not cost you to be here.
Not at all.
You're giving back to the library, but at the same time making sure that children in distress at the Barnstable Police Department that may interact with the police department have something comforting in that time of stress. And you guys continue, and each month you pick another project. What are some of the other projects you guys have chosen?
Well, I chose the first project, and as a group we chose the broad overriding project being the bears. But each person every month to have ownership of this group, because it really is about all of us. Each person chooses a project. In January we did hats and scarves for the RFK Center for Adolescents. And we are now doing baby blankets for the baby center, of which you can see this is only 1 week's donation. April, we're doing hats for Alzheimer's. The Alzheimer's Family Support System Center from Brewster is having a big walk in Harwich in May. So we as a group are going to be participating in that walk, Knitting for a Cause walkers, and we're knitting a hat and donating a hat for all the walkers.
Wow, that is so amazing. You know, it must feel really good, at least in grief, to be able to put that energy into something really positive and to give back to the community. And not only that, but just to develop this community of people who gather every week. You guys gather here at the Centerville Library every week. What do you most take away from this experience?
Two things. One is that I look at the group every week and I see us all knitting the same thing for the same purpose. And it's all volunteer time for that. I also appreciate the camaraderie and support we each give each other.
You know what? I never had the time to knit because I worked full-time forever. And so now this gave me an opportunity to meet other people. And I said, let me try this. And I learned something. But we have a great connection. Yeah. Just connected. Everybody has a different expertise, and they're all so accepting. And we're doing this for reasons.
Right, which makes it more fun, I think, to have a reason to do it.
It does. Just got some donated yarn that I'm recycling.
Yeah, we were at Judy's one night knitting. Her husband came in, and it was at the time they had that awful tragedy at the high school there, and with the two little kids, and he said to us, your bears probably went to those two little kids.
Yes.
And with this finger,
There's so much unsettling going on in the world right now that it's really good to be able to know that we're doing something positive for our local people, for people we live with, that we're helping them too. It's a very good feeling.
We just help each other along. And that's life.
Okay, I was unaware of that.
Sure, Pat's never knitted before.
No, I never knitted before.
No.
But she's learning fast. I wouldn't call myself a knit.
This is the most welcoming group I've ever met. I'm a quilter. I don't know how to knit. And they are teaching me.
Thank you so much for having us today and telling us all about Knitting for a Cause. We really appreciate it. What an awesome group trying to make a difference in our community. Up next, we're going to find out more about the Cape Cod Rabies Task Force with Animal Control Officer Charlie Lewis. So Charlie, thank you so much for joining me today. I want to talk about a lot of things. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the Cape Cod Oral Rabies Vaccination Project. Who runs this program?
It's a combination of several, lot of volunteers from Senior AmeriCorps, private individuals. USDA is the funding source for that now. They send down a year-round program where they not only do the oral bait program, but they do follow-up work, and they capture wildlife, they anesthetize it, they draw blood and do some other tests to see if the vaccine is actually working that we do put out. So it's a combination of several. Commonwealth of Mass, the Public Health, the Cape Cod Rabies Task Force, which is, again, all volunteers, but mainly made up of animal control officers, natural resource officers, and the county health department, through Barnstable County Health.
And basically what they do is they take out rabies baiting packets. They're these little things, and they want wildlife to eat these, right? Because
Correct.
it's sort of a way to get them the rabies vaccine in a natural way.
This is the little sacket, and this is the bait block. They use the bait blocks in stations, which I don't know if you'd be able to see, but it's a tube, plastic tube, and they put them in there. The others, we hand bait certain parts of town.
And so the animals are just, the wildlife is just sort of drawn to these. Has this been a really successful program that has decreased rabies in wildlife on Cape Cod?
What it has done is enable us to say that we've been rabies free. We cannot say totally that rabies is not here. We would never be able to know. But the animals that we pick up either through surveillance, through contact that with another animal, and we're able to capture that wildlife, or even human contact, we test them, and there've been no positive cases now for 3 years.
Wow, that's a success then.
Yeah.
You know, what happens if, let's say, I'm taking my dog for a walk in maybe a wooded area where we come across one of these packets. My dog maybe picks it up, starts chewing on it, I take it out of his mouth. Should this be a concern? Is it harmful to pets?
The most that'll happen in 99% of the cases is nothing. The other little percent, there might be an upset stomach where the dog will regurgitate. And we always encourage everyone to keep their dog on a leash when we do put the baits out. They actually will disappear within a week. So if just that time frame, if we can keep everyone with a leash in the wildlife management areas especially, and we can keep them close to us so that they're not darting in underneath that bush. When we actually place the baits, we try to put them in places that dogs won't be readily able to get them. As far as ourselves, if a dog picks them up and they break through the packet and you take it out of their mouth, hopefully you'd have some kind of glove or barrier on. If not, you should really go and wash your hands right away. They say 15 minutes under good soapy hot water, which is a standard medical for any type of wound anyway. But they also encourage everyone to call to report these incidences. If there's a human contact with the bait, we call public health in Boston. If it is a dog contact, we call Brian at USDA.
But it really isn't harmful to humans or animals, nothing that would really make them ill or cause major problems.
In most cases, that's correct. With the
Okay.
dog especially, but with the human, if we have a compromised immune system, it could have a negative effect. I've not heard of anyone that's had an issue, but I may not have heard everyone.
And of course, as you said, so many of the volunteers are really not putting them in places that humans or animals should typically come in contact with, but just in the event, good to know that the procedure and who to contact. You know, it's very important too to make sure our pets have their rabies vaccines. And actually coming up this month, very exciting, there is a low-cost rabies clinic right here in Hyannis at the animal. Where is that being held? Actually, Barnstable Animal Hospital?
Barnstable Animal Hospital at 157 Airport Road, and it's going to be on Sunday, April 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 1. And we're encouraging everyone, of course, to have their dog on a leash, and cats be in a carrier.
This seems like a perfect time too, Charlie, because this is the right time. Everyone needs that rabies certificate to go ahead and get their dog license renewed. So this is a really great time for individuals because it's now time to go ahead and get that dog license renewal. So go ahead, get that low-cost rabies vaccine. It's only $10, and then make sure to get your dog tag renewed. Why is it so important that all animals should be registered here in the town of Barnstable?
Well, there's several reasons why, but number one is that we can actually know that an animal has been vaccinated against rabies should that animal come in contact with another animal, and or if it should bite or scratch a human. Quarantines are very different if there's, depending on the type of exposure. It can be from 4 months now to as little as 10 days. We went from 6 months to as little as 10 days. But the other big reason is, of course, is identification. I had a dog that was turned in a couple of days ago. It did not have any identification on it whatsoever. I immediately went into the dog license database. I was able to come up with a house near where this particular dog was found with the same type of breed. I call that individual. They had their dog, but they happened to know a neighbor that had a dog that was similar. And I went to that house, and sure enough, we had a winner. So it saved not only the dog from being hit by a car, it also saved the person that owns the dog the expense of a kennel and impound and all the things that go along with that. So
yeah, which can be very costly and very nerve-wracking for a family to lose a family pet. So you want to make sure you have the proper identification so that your pet can be returned.
Yes.
Very quickly. Thank you, Charlie, for coming in and telling us all about this. We really appreciate the update and look forward to chatting with you again in the near future.
All righty. Thank you.
My guest today, of course, Animal Control Officer Charlie Lewis. The Barnstable Youth Commission will host a job fair for individuals 18 and under. To learn more, we talk with Recreation Director Patty Machado. So Patty, so glad you could join me today. We have so much to talk about. One of the first things I want to talk about is a really cool opportunity for young individuals 18 or under. The Barnstable Youth Commission has worked really hard to get together a job fair for this age group. That doesn't really happen very often. What a great opportunity.
Yeah, last year, the groups, the advertisers in the youth center asked how they could reach out and get kids because they needed staff. And so as a result, Amy talked to Brendan, and Brendan's like, well, let's do this. And so this has been developed through that. We currently have 19 businesses that will be there for this. We also have Warren Rutherford from the Executive Suites who's going to be coming in and helping kids with resumes, understanding how to interview, that kind of thing. So Warren continues to serve the town of Barnstable even though he's not the town manager. It's nice that he comes back and continues to give back. He also does it in the schools as well. But and then we'll have different recreation staff that will help people fill out applications if they're not comfortable, or we'll double check applications and make sure that they're getting all the information they have. And
well, sometimes it can be a little confusing, and for someone who maybe hasn't applied for a job before, or is really looking to up their job to try and find something a little better, this is really an important skill that they may not have had access to. And resumes, those are tough for adults. So trying as a teen to figure out what to put in there, pretty tough. So what a wonderful opportunity to have this specialty advice.
Yeah. So on Wednesday of next week, April 12th, 2:30 to 5 at the Highness Youth and Community Center. There's no admission. The whole thing is free. The Youth Commission and the HYCC together are putting this on. And if kids are out there and they're looking for a job, it's for kids under 18 years of age. And we're being specific because the child labor laws. So if they're looking for a job, people are out there and their kids need to get their first job, this is a great opportunity. Stop by the HYCC, have them come in. I do advise that parents not come. I think this is an important thing that kids learn to do this on their own. Note that we will have the Youth Commission and the Rec Department, and all the staff that we can in the facility to help kids. So let's help them get the job on their own and let them go for the job that they want. But our hope is that everybody that walks through the door can get a job.
Wonderful.
And it's not just for Barnstable. So if you see this and you're working in Hyannis and or you've heard about this, we have people coming as far away as Bourne. So again, a great opportunity for parents to get their kids a job just by bringing them there. But again, I recommend that we not have the parents come in.
It's a great learning opportunity. Sometimes you have to break from the parents and learn how to spread your wings and kind of take care of some things on your own. It's a learning process for kids who are just part of growing up.
Right.
Let's talk. I'm so excited about this event. This is like one of the most fun events of the year. The Barnstable Recreation Extravaganza for Easter egg hunt. This is so fun. Where is this being held this year, Pat?
We're still at the Barnstable Intermediate School. You park out front and then walk in. We'll have the eggs in the middle of the culvert, in the middle of the roundabout there that is at the around the parking lot, and then inside we'll have a bunch of different stations. Most of the events are free. If you want to do a game, it's $1. So when you walk in, there's a table there where you can get tickets, and that's how we do it. All the money goes into one spot. I recommend that you buy one ticket for each game, figure out which one your kids like, and they get a prize. Everybody wins every single time. And then we also have novelty table where you can buy different little trinkets, to get them ready for Easter, quite honestly, which is the next day. And then at the same time, we'll have all kinds of motor skill activities that are free as well. And the drama mamas will be there, as always, at all of our programs. They come in and do cupcakes and hot dogs. So if you haven't had lunch, it's a great opportunity to grab a hot dog and some water. And then we'll have the balloon man. I don't know if you've seen the stuff. This balloon guy is amazing. It's just amazing. He does bunnies, which is cute as little heck, but there isn't anything. I see Star Wars of things. I see Superman. Wow. I mean, they're amazing what he makes for each kid. And it takes a little while to get through the line because he makes one for every single child. So
it's so worth it.
Yes.
Sometimes it's worth waiting in that line.
Right.
Also, another thing that's really cool, the Easter Bunny is going to be there.
Oh, I forget about the Easter Bunny. Of course,
yeah, how could you forget about the Easter Bunny?
And the sidekick chick. I know everybody's like in love with the Easter Bunny, but my favorite is the sidekick chick. It's this big yellow chick that's, and so you can have pictures done with both of them. And so it makes it a little bit special. I think, it's nice to go to see the Easter Bunny, but it's really cool to see the sidekick chick.
Such a cool opportunity for parents who have antsy kids, want to get them out and do something that's low cost, fun, and family friendly. Love this. So Barnstable Intermediate School, Saturday, April 15th, 11 a.m. to 1.
Yes, and it's basically free for all.
Awesome.
And then last but not least, we have the Patriots Day Run, which is an annual event that has been going on long before I started. So it's over 40 years old. It started out in Marston's Mills, and now we are running it at Barnstable High School. John Gleason will be running this event, and you come to the track. Okay, this is where you have to listen. Okay, we have different categories. So in the morning, we have a quarter-mile fun run for the preschool division. They run around the track, basically, and then they get a medal. And then and that starts at 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, I can't see this without my glasses on. At 9:30, we have the K through 3, which is 1 mile. They actually run outside. They run around the track once, and then they go out into the field. So there's a little cross country to it, but not too much. So it's a mixed activity. And then at 10:30, we have the grades 4 through 7, which is very competitive, and they run right out of the turf field there off the track and run right through the back and through the fields. And there's a nice little course that we'll set up with cones. It's great picture taking. And again, if your kids like to run or they have a lot of energy, this is a great opportunity to burn it out. School vacation first day, so it's nice. This whole thing, everything we're running here is on school vacation, but keep your kids busy, keep them active, and this will give them something to do. And I tell the story, I think, almost every year that Molly Gleason was in this program, and she, which is John's daughter, and she won her first year, won a medal, and she slept with that medal. Everybody wins a medal, but she slept with that medal for almost a year under her pillow.
Oh, how cute is that?
Yeah, it meant that much to her. It was a special treat. She was a preschooler, and they think they won the Olympics.
That's right. And what fun. I mean, again, a low-cost activity to get out. Actually, let's talk about the registration fee. So it's $15 for a resident, $30 for a non-resident, but this money actually does good.
Yes, this goes right back into the program, actually. This program costs us a lot more money than it is that you're actually paying. Kids get a T-shirt, they get a medal, they get a water, they get food. It's not like it costs us a lot of money to run this. It's more about celebrating Patriots Day as a community and having some fun with it. And a lot of times parents are out running in the marathon, and it's kind of cool to sit down for dinner afterwards with you know, a family member, one's run the marathon. Let me tell you, the kids program becomes the bigger deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, what fun. Thank
Yeah.
you, Patty, for coming and telling me all about these great events that are coming up. You guys are busy over there.
Yeah, a little bit busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're looking for lifeguards, and we're doing hiring right now for all of our programs, and we will be at the job fair.
Oh, well, wonderful.
Yes.
Glad to hear it. Well,
Yes.
thank you, Patty. Very excited for you. I hope you find a lot of great employees
Thank you.
for the summer. We really appreciate you stopping by today.
Thanks.
Our guest today, Patty Machado, Recreation Director. Now let's find out what's happening around town in today's community calendar. Cape Cod Beer will continue its First Friday concert series tonight. The featured band will be Stomp 86. Stomp 86 is a Cape Cod alternative rock cover band. There is no cover charge. The fun begins at 5 and wraps up by 8. Well, are you in the market for a new mattress? The Barnstable High School Business Club, known as DECA, is hosting a mattress sale to raise money. The mattress sale will be held at Barnstable High School Sunday, April 9th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. All mattresses are up to 50% off retail price, so you can not only save yourself some money, but you can also help DECA raise some money to support student attendance to state and national business competitions. Well, there are no board, committee, or commission meetings today. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We're going to be back Monday with another great show for you. On Monday, we will learn all about the upcoming spring walking weekend with walking leader Farley Lewis. We'll find out what's happening at Cape Cod Community College with Communications Director Michael Gross, and so much more. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.